Y'all, hey, it's Nay, and I'm late. Okay, I'm late. My bad. I got this urge to just real quick give myself a look of cornrow. So they sloppy, but they on my head, and I'm gonna just leave it for like a couple days because I gotta do my hair for a wedding in a couple days. Anyway, I wanted to come on here. Well, one, I'm gonna do a little check-in in like 5 minutes or so on this shirt that I sprayed with Jennifer Lopez still yesterday, because I was told that fragrance was gonna last a good 24 hours on clothes. So we're gonna check that out. But let's jump first into these fragrances. I took them out. Okay, they're going onto my collection. I don't care that it's still 80 something degrees outside. Fall has arrived and is knocking on the door, waiting for us to open up the door and let her in. Okay, we gotta let her in. So these are fragrances that I love for the colder weather and also for date night. They make me feel a certain way, but most of these, it's just too much for me to wear in warmer weather. So let's start out with like the lighter fragrances and then work our way to the stronger ones that I most definitely cannot wear in the heat. So the first one I actually do like to wear for date night is Girl of Now Elisab Shine. This is such a lovely fragrance. It's just giving. So this is probably the brightest one out of all of these because I believe there's a pineapple note in here. Let's pull up the notes really quick. I do think that I think that there's a pineapple note in here. I'm good. How are you? But I think this Ellie Saab as a whole is just a really good brand. It's bright and fruity, but there's a depth to here that I think is like, it's got a little zhuzh in here. And it's an affordable fragrance. I think the bottle is cute. Like, look at these. I got hair everywhere, guys, still, after braiding my hair. Too much. But yes, I like this. And this is just when I'm trying to be playful, fun. We're not doing too much. We're not going anywhere too fancy. I just look a little cute. I did maybe like a little basic beat on my face. I don't know, I'm loving it. The next one is this one right here, y'all. This is Wanted Girl by Azzaro. I like this fragrance. I haven't reached for it in way too long. I'm not sure why. What got me into perfumes? My parents have worn fragrances my whole life, so I remember going in there forever long, like all the time, and spraying their fragrances on me whenever we would go somewhere. And so when I got older, the money not long when you in college and stuff, I would just be wearing like cheaper stuff, but I always like to smell good. Then I got back into fragrances like a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, like where I started amassing a collection like a real collection. But yeah, I think it stems from my family for sure. We Caribbean, so we like to smell good all the time. So this fragrance, this is definitely a deeper fragrance. Oh my gosh, it's a strong fragrance. It's a very strong fragrance. It's caramel. It's sexy. It's super sweet. It's very sweet. So if you don't like super sweet fragrances, I don't think Wanted Girl is the vibe for you. It's definitely got like a creamy vibe. I wouldn't say like a milky vibe, but like a creamy-esque vibe. Maybe it's dulce de leche, not caramel. That's why it's got like a creamy-esque type of vibe. There's pomegranate, pink pepper, orange blossom. I love me some orange blossom, y'all. And tonka bean, vetiver, patchouli. So I wouldn't consider this a fragrance that has any type of like spice in it. So maybe perhaps the pink pepper is just giving it a little, it's kind of maybe splitting the sweetness a little bit, but it's not spicy. It's definitely a super sweet fragrance. It's just giving super sexy. Super sexy, super vibe. It's easy. It's nothing complex, but it's also quite affordable. So the next fragrance, I definitely can't wear this fragrance yet. I will kill myself and everyone in the room with this scent. And this is, but it's so good. Guys, Torrid Day by Okja. No, I missed this fragrance. I missed this fragrance, guys. Oh my gosh. It's so hot outside. I can't even put this on my skin. This is literally, it's literally smelling right now like chai tea. Like a chai tea latte. Oh, it smells so good. It smells so delicious. It's definitely super milky, creamy. There's definitely a lot of spices in here. It smells so good. I don't think this, yeah, this isn't on here. So let me go back to the original, because this is dupe for Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. There is vanilla, sweet tobacco, warm, spicy cacao, woody. Guys, it's sexy. It's sexy, it's delicious, it's giving edible, but it also has all those spices in it, so it's not like too sweet. I love this fragrance. Y'all, Okja's Torrid Day is a whole vibe. So it just says spicy notes. It doesn't tell us exactly what spices are in here. And there's two types of tobacco. There's tobacco leaf and tobacco blossom. But this right here is a vibe. This is, as you see, the oil is all over it. But I have had this just in lockdown because it's just way too warm still for this. Second it's cool enough, she's coming out to play for date night. And even, I would even wear this during the day too. I think she's actually slightly more welcoming than the OG. Because I think she's a little bit sweeter. Staying somewhat along this lines, the next one is Guess Seductive Noir. This is an affordable fragrance. This is an affordable fragrance. And I like her as well. Guys, let's spritz. I don't know if I realized this before, but this just stained the paper. So if you have this, be careful. She smells really good. I just had to give her a second to marinate for a second, but so a lot of people compare this next fragrance I'm going to talk about to Mon Guerlain, and I don't see the comparison. I see the comparison to this one and the next one. They kind of go hand in hand to me because I feel like they're very close. They're relatives for sure. This is Coco Noir. I'm not sure what the note breakdown is, but this is slightly sweet, kind of bougie smelling. Let's see. I love Coco Noir. I can't wait till I can wear her. Yeah, I feel like Coco Noir is like the older cousin to Guess Seductive Noir. Because Guess Seductive Noir has a more creamy facet to it. But they definitely share some DNA. If you just take the creaminess out of Guess Seductive Noir. No, this is Coco Noir is a vibe though. She's giving bougie. She's giving sexy, but almost a little bit like stay away from me, because she's not very sweet right now. She has some sweetness to her, but Guess Seductive Noir has more. I feel like if you mix these two, they're gonna mix really well together. I actually really just love Chanel, like, as a brand. I think the whole brand is just super cool. I'd love to get like the CC earrings. They're both delicious. They're both delicious. They're both awesome. But Coco Noir right now is not giving super sweet. I feel like it gave me a little bit sweeter last year. Warm, spicy, woody, citrus, fresh, spicy, aromatic, patchouli, vanilla. So it's probably in the dry down that Coco Noir gets sweeter for me. And of course, last year versus this year, my nose has grown a little bit more, so I can definitely pull apart those citruses, I think, more. Grapefruit sometimes bother my nose a little bit, gives almost nail polish a little bit, but not in this fragrance, at least not now. There's a whole bunch of florals in here, but the base is tonka bean, vanilla, olibanum, sandalwood, white musk, cloves, benzoin, and patchouli, which is a whole lot of deliciousness and long lasting. Coco Noir definitely lasts a good amount of time for sure. Yes, Seductive Red really definitely has a super creamy vibe to it though. Okay, let's move on to the next fragrance. The next fragrance, y'all, oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. And I remember the last time I put her on, I was like, yeah, I can't wear her again. It's too hot. I don't want to ruin my love for her, okay? That is Kayali's Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper. I have not really entered the major market of Middle Eastern fragrances yet. I'm trying to savor and enjoy every step of my exploration into perfumes, and not bum rush through it. But a lot of people who have even more extensive fragrance collection than I have and am loving fragrances even more say that this is like an entry level into Middle Eastern fragrances. I've heard some people say that Casablanca is an entry level into Middle Eastern fragrances. I'm not sure why, because I don't get oud or anything. It's literally like a woody gourmand, but that's for another day. Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper is so delicious. There is like a spark, like a spice in here. I'm not sure if this is pink pepper, black pepper. There's a spice in here. There's a spice. But it's super creamy. Super creamy. And the rose in here, listen. If you've been watching my channel, you know rose can do too much. Rose can give old people. Rose can give big time F. No. Fail. You did not make it. But the rose in here it's giving like milkshake. It's giving like if someone were to be brave enough to make like a rose milkshake and use like the best vanilla bean, like the actual, like they have to slice open like the little stick thing and like scrape out the actual like vanilla bean thing and blend it together and put a few look of spice in there and create, and then you make it a really thick milkshake. And this would be it. It is a little warm though, so it's not just like a cool fragrance, but it's so delicious. Yes, the opening definitely has like a cool-esque, sweet, yummy side, and then it gets warmer. It's so delicious. This is a fragrance I feel like is such a attention getter, so of course you'd want to wear it for a date night. And you can also, like, if your man, when it comes to these two types of fragrances for me, right, they both give off that like don't mess with me too much kind of vibe, but because there's more creaminess vibe in this, it's a little bit more welcoming, but both quite classy to me. They're both giving class, but this is a little more fun. You know what I mean? It's like you brought your younger sister who's just as successful as you are, but she's a little more fun, she's a little more youthful, you know what I'm saying? And you are just a little more serious, a little more, you know what I mean? Okay, maybe a little more mean. Listen, it's okay. Just don't be too mean. But they're both such a vibe for me. And then there's one more fragrance. So I have been wearing this recently. It's definitely one that I'm slowly getting back into, and I have a pretty little dent in there. And this is a big ass bottle. This fragrance is C by Giorgio Armani. This is the intense version. This is the 2021 version, I believe. I think I do think this is 2021 version. Nah, y'all, I truly love me some blackcurrant. This is like, I think blackcurrant syrup is in here. This is so sexy. So it's sexy, it's thick, it's syrupy, it's delicious, honestly. It's basically a gourmand without actually being gourmand. It's so good, and I think, but it definitely is the intense version, because I have the original C. It's on my tray. So my September tray is out. I have the video up now, so after this, go check it out if you have a little time. But this is definitely the intense version to this. They definitely give me super similar vibes, but this is definitely more day-to-day where you can wear it in the warmer weather and the cooler weather. This is just, because this says cassis, which is just basically like the black currant buds and the leaves, so it still gives off the reminiscence of black currant without being super thick. This is just, so this would be a nice transitioning piece, right? So like you wear this during the day, and then you got to go out on a date, and you don't got to go rinse off and do the mostest. You really, and you going right after work or right whatever, just spray this on top of it, and they layer so well together. Hey, what's up? But yeah, I honestly, I think I love almost every single, I'm gonna say this hesitantly, I think every single fragrance in the C line, because I also have C Fiori. I haven't tried the black bottle. It's been discontinued. I don't think I'm gonna find it at all. I think it's gone. I think she's left the building officially. I would love for C, like Giorgio Armani, to drop a C that is like a salty, sweet black currant fragrance. I feel like that would be a good addition. Maybe like a cassis and salt, so you get like that black currant, but it's a lighter vibe. I don't know. I feel like it would be a vibe. I feel like it would be a vibe. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk. So yesterday I had some awesome people on this live, and one of them made a pretty big claim, and she told me that if I spray still on my clothes, it'll definitely last 24 plus hours. And I said, really? So I took this shirt right here and I sprayed her down with some still. And I wasn't really stingy with it, because I'm not really stingy with my fragrances. We're gonna smell it now, because it's actually been more than 24 hours. Hey! And we're gonna see if it still smells like Still by Jennifer Lopez. I hope it does, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna be like, girl, what clothes are you spraying it on? But let's see. Okay, so she's right. It does. It does. It still smells like Still by Jennifer Lopez. But the sweetness is completely gone from the fragrance. It definitely is giving very fresh and clean. Wow, I cannot believe this still smells like this. And it's very close to the clothing. It's definitely not like, yeah, no, it's not projecting or anything, but I'm a little shook. And Still by Jennifer Lopez is super affordable. That's crazy that you can still smell this on this shirt. So I don't know if you're on the live right now, girl, but you are right. The fragrance definitely is super strong, and I like Still by Jennifer Lopez actually a lot. Actually, I said this yesterday, I'm gonna say it again. I actually prefer it to Chanel Chance Otandra. I don't have the OG, although I've tested it several times. I have the Dossier dupe of it, but the OG does not last more than, I think, maybe 2 hours on my skin. And for the price of Chanel, I need you to give me 4 hours at least. You know what I mean? Like, it just costs too much to last 2 hours. I don't know. The Dossier version, I think I can get to last around 4 hours. Still obviously gonna last out through the rest of your life at this point. You gonna have to go wash your clothes, wash your wig, wash everything if you want to get Still off of you, clearly, as we just saw. But she was right. Definitely loving me some Still. That was all of the 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, that was the 7 fragrances. I have taken most of those out just now from my little cabinet of, oh, this is only for cold weather. I know it's not cold, okay? It's not cold yet. But as I mentioned earlier, fall is knocking on the door. Autumn is knocking on the door, and we just need to let her in, so that, it's getting colder at nighttime. I think it was like 64 degrees here in the East Coast last night, and I was super excited. I was like, if I left my house right now, I could wear winter fragrance. Not really, but I could try. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on to this live. Let me know, take a comment after I done leave this live, and let me know some of the fragrances you're very excited to take out for date night in the cooler weather, because you know we all love to smell good when we can. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.